Namaste, Jai Bharat. Autonomy of will is one of the expressions of Immanuel Kant. As we all should know, Immanuel Kant is one of the greatest philosophers of the modern European thinking. Indeed, he is a speculative philosopher with all the drawbacks of speculative philosophy that's there. But then, what else is European philosophy other than speculative philosophy? Since that being the case, Kant alone can be simply talked about as speculative philosopher. They all are that. The Kant also thinks and speaks that man is autonomous. Now, these questions in the classrooms we used to feel very funny. That is, the talk that man is autonomous and there is an autonomy will. Is it not conditional? This question we used to think, feel, and also ask. Now, is it really the case that man is autonomous and man has autonomy of will? Once you think, you will get into difficulties. Is it really the case that man is autonomous? Can we have any, or do we have any control over your thinking process, thought process? Haven't you seen many people around us who are slaves of thoughts? They contemplate, they keep thinking, building thoughts upon thoughts and thoughts upon thoughts, and suffer from the pangs, pains, and troubles of thinking and thoughts, their own thoughts. Many times these thoughts do not have much basis. Many times these thoughts might not have any foundation or ground at all, or not even state setting. They are often spurious, but they are carried into the minds of the thinking person either through fantasy or through something else. They entertain such thoughts and worry on such thoughts and suffer from such thoughts by anticipating. Many times their anticipation of discomfort. No one wants to be under discomfort. Everyone wants to be comfortable, natural. At least the hedonists would vouch for that. I do not know. There are stoics at the same time, along with the philanthropists. That's what theories say. So it's really not the case that everyone would like to be comfortable. But then these comfort readers would say that that man's discomfort shall be his comfort. Now this kind of controversy can go on and shall take place. Let that be. You think about thoughts of people. People think about all kinds of things, and many people anticipate many unnecessary things, unnecessary and unwanted for them. There may be a rational, strong possibility of such things taking place, but there is no guarantee that these things can happen. There is always a possibility that those things might not happen, and there is also the same possibility that this might happen. But once you are not sure of this is going to happen, then no matter how deeply you worry, how seriously you get yourselves concerned of that impending X disaster, the disaster itself has nothing much to do, nothing at all to do anything with your thoughts. Therefore, isn't it wise to avoid such thoughts just because your thoughts are not going to have any control or any impact of something that is impending, that's coming to you? Whether you think also it's the same case, or you don't think also it's going to be the same case. Nothing your thoughts are not going to make any difference. Your thoughts shall not make any changes. Your thoughts shall not make any difference to the phenomenon which is going to be without that which is ought to be. That being the case, why should you think? But if man is autonomous, these thoughts would not have taken place. You won't suffer from your own thoughts. You won't suffer from your own thoughts. But people do suffer from their own thoughts, and they go to the extent of taking antidepressants. People do take antidepressants just because they are slaves of such irrational thinking in the disguise of rationality. So thoughts, when not under your control, can be your master in a most devastating way. What to do? There are people like that whom you cannot talk to. Even counselors would have difficulties in talking to them, trying to make sense of the phenomenon in question to them. It's not always that easy, because these people insist on continuous thoughts, or they have no, just because they have no control on it, on their thoughts. Then what's the point in saying that man is autonomous? If man really is autonomous, this thing should not have happened. There should be an autonomous will, as Kant himself says again. If that really is the case, then these things should not happen. We in Bharat, the Hindus, have a kind of attitude. It's not taught in any religion per se. We have a kind of attitude. Many people, what they do, they dump all their worries to a deity. They do puja. Sometimes they go to temples. They stand and dump all their worries to the deity. And there are many fortunate people who dump things to the deity, whichever, and then get themselves relieved, and that's important. You can go and dump your all sorrows to the deity's feet, and still if you carry them back from the temple where you have gone, then what's the point? But there are very lucky people, at least some, should be very many actually, who would go and put all their burden down there and then come back relaxed. Again they will go next time when they're overloaded, get themselves relaxed. This cycle should go on. So actually there is no question of man being autonomous. It's only beautiful imagination, like most of the speculations of Marx. In fact, for Marx it is all his speculations. Like many philosophers do speculate. Many speculations of Kant are also not real with the phenomenal world. So why think? Why think? Why unnecessarily think? Why think about thinking? Why anticipate thinking? So during the military training, we used to have an instructor, Nathan. He used to say, no, normally the cadets during training, how they have anticipating command. When he says something like parade, so we know he is going to ask, he is going to call out for attention. The people standing there, the trainees know, is going to call out for attention. Before the command is executed, there's a moment. Now he twitches as though he's going to. So he will shout, do not anticipate command. He used to repeat, do not anticipate command. If you anticipate command, you are disturbing the drill. Similarly, the army teaches you during training that do not anticipate the command. Life should teach you that do not anticipate troubles in your thoughts, during your thoughts. Keep the mind free, healthy, and have great sleep. Till we meet with some other thoughts, it's Namaste, Jai Bharat and Jai Shri Ram.